And welcome back, everyone. We're up to the game, the winners match here for the FX Open Invitational Series, Group Number D. I am Unstable, joined here by Lillian for this next game. We are going to have, of course, STKingKong, who just made it through Yu-Gi-Oh! And then, of course, B4Prime, who came through Jack-Chi. So let's see which one of these guys can secure themselves a spot in the round of 32. As we go into it, we have, of course, King Kong up here at the top right-hand corner as our red Zerg. And B4Prime down here at the bottom left as our pink Zerg. So King Kong playing some pretty solid ZVZ in the last set. What do you think, Lillian?
Yeah, I think so as well. He's playing a very safe game and grabbing small leads. And at some point, Yu-Gi-Oh just didn't have the income and the gas anymore to really keep up with everything that King Kong was throwing at him. Let's see if he's going to be playing a slow and methodical game right now here on Daybreak as well. We saw him, of course, hit that roach timing. You know, it looked like it was a real roach timing, like one of those roach timings where you have to do damage or pretty much be, in a very bad position. But even though the roach timing that King Kong went for didn't do too much damage, he was still able to stay in the game, grab a third, get some drones behind this, and be able to stay in the game and win eventually. So well done by King Kong, showing that he's an all-round player. He can throw out some aggression, but he can also defend very well.
Yeah, exactly. So let's see what openers we're going to have from both these guys so far. It looks like it is going to be a 15 hatch for both of them. Pretty standard on this map, to be honest. It's a very macro-orientated map, very large one in particular. We did see, of course, King Kong play that crazy base race game against Yu-Gi-Oh! On this one.
Let's hope for that to happen again.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how that happens. So, looking here, something I just noticed for Jack-Chi in this group is he only had to play Zerg for the entire, even if he wins or loses, no matter what happens, he's only ever going to play Zerg. There's 3 other Zergs in this group, so that should help him out quite a bit, as the players did know these groups a little bit earlier, so we might have had an idea on what was going on. But unfortunately, got a little bit greedy in his games versus B4Prime, so let's see who goes through the round of 32 and who drops down into the final match to play the winner of Yu-Gi-Oh! And Jack-Chi. That's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting indeed. Looking forward to the rest of these series. Let's see how Jack-Chi is going to do against either... I lost it there.
Yu-Gi-Oh! And Jack-Chi, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Yeah, right. This the group format that GSL uses. You always see like Caldor and Wolf and Tasteless and Artosis when they are doing all the groups live. And Code A as well can be so confusing. I always see Caldor with his little notebook where he's written down every possibility, like, okay, if this guy wins with this score versus this guy, then this guy will play this guy.
Oh, that's up-downs.
Caldor,
yeah,
man,
that's up-downs. Up-downs is much harder to figure it out, but
I even get lost in the group stages, man.
Yeah. Okay, just quick look at nothing out of the ordinary. We do see B4Prime squeezing out a couple of extra drones. Here's our first real deviation here. We got the Bailing Nest for King Kong. Looking at the worker count, it's 21 to 24 in favor of B4Prime. Swing speed at the same roughly about the same time. So let's see which way B4Prime decides to go with it. He, of course, without that Bailing Nest, he will not be able to defend against Bailing aggression. But more and more often these days, we've seen Bailing Nest purely as defensive.
Yeah, we have. You went robotic there for a while, so hopefully my voice is still coming through clear.
Yeah.
Okay, great. It sounded really awkward there for a second. Anyway, I couldn't really quite hear what you were saying there because the Skype, the Skype issues, they always exist, even in the FX Open Invitational. But we do have Boom Boom making a lot of Zerglings, like a ridiculous amount of Zerglings. 20 Zerglings now coming out, and he already has about 10 out on the map. He's dropping the Bailing Nest right now, whereas King Kong, he's already got his Bailing Nest finished up, so he could be in a good position to defend against this aggression that Boom Boom is throwing at him.
Yeah, and he did just get a big heads up at the count of Zerglings here, and he's actually making, there we go, 6 Banelings being made. They should barely finish by the time he gets down here. He can place his queens on the ramp, as he is doing, just in case they don't finish up in time. And here we go, the Banelings are going to finish up. It's going to force B4Prime to back off. And that's pretty much what I was talking about when apparently Skype cut out for a couple of seconds, is Bailing Nests these days used mainly for defensive purposes.
Yeah, we didn't really see that many aggressive Baneling attacks anymore. A few months ago, that was all that ZVZ was about. It was all about the Baneling that's timing and the gas timing and how early the Banelings were going to be out on the field. But as as things go in most matchups in StarCraft 2, people learn how to deal with things. Like the 1-1-1, people learned how to deal with it. The Immortal Sentry all-in Zerg players are learning how to deal with that better and better. Oh my God.
Oh, there we go. I was going to say, like, it looked bad and then it looked okay and then it just turned out bad in the end. For that one. But not that significant in the course of the entire game. It just means that King Kong will have a couple of extra Zerglings. Both of these guys going for very quick lair as they are finishing up very so soon. 4 gas here for King Kong and the same for Pong Pong as well. Both of them also... well, actually, no, only King Kong scouting for that third base with that Overlord. Pong Pong's is a little bit out of position to be able to see that happening. And we see there's the Spire for King Kong. Are we going to see a Spire for Pong Pong?
Oh, that would be cool. Yes. You're gonna see the Spire. It makes for really interesting games. Muta versus Muta. Like, who's gonna try to sneak into Infestors first, or are we gonna see that full out Muta on Muta war where basically it matters who has the most Mutas in the first engagement and it snowballs out of control after that. But we've also seen that when one player scouts the Spire of the other player, he would cancel the Spire, go into Infestors and try to play that game because they feel more comfortable with the Infestors than they do with the Muta versus Muta.
Just a quick note here, that third, it is about to die. Is he gonna get it? Oh, forces a cancel. King Kong did actually...
the drone.
Yeah, that's actually quite big. There was already a Baneling there, wasn't able to connect as nicely as you would like, and now that's going to give Pong Pong the advantage. That's...
Yeah, definitely.
Actually, looking here, King Kong has the Spire, he's going to finish slightly earlier. He has pretty much the same amount of gas though, and look at this. Oh, he's actually going to catch the drone again! Is he going to get the drone? He needs to get that drone. He's going to delay this as long as he can.
Zergling count, so he could just send 3 or 4 Zerglings after that drone to kill it, but he's not going to do that. At the same time, King Kong wants to do the same thing that Boom Boom has done to him. He's sending about 12 links into the... Ooh, there are Banelings. Great connection there, and the second connection makes sure that this hatchery is going to stay alive here. 1 Baneling for 8 Zerglings. Yeah,
that is going to give Pong Pong a really big advantage now. That extra gas is going to help out insanely. He's actually also going to have a higher Muta count, just by 1 at this stage though. But having the fact that he's got that third up, extra gas, extra production, really going to be useful. We just have another engagement in the middle here, and it looks like Pong Pong's going to come out ahead quite significantly on that as well. So Pong Pong going to have a 10 supply lead. He's going to have his third up earlier. And it comes down to how these guys engage.
It does, and it also comes down a little bit to who gets what upgrade. Of course, Muta versus Muta.
Oh,
is he actually going to target this hatch down? It's going to be close. The Muta's starting to work away. The Zerglings, I don't think he's going to get it.
It's going to be very, very close. Is he going to transfuse? He doesn't have transfuse energy. Oh my God, 50 HP. Oh, no, not enough Zerglings.
Like 4 Zerglings run in there. I'll finish it. Oh no, we're not even going to make it to that hatchery. Good try though. The Queen has enough for a transfuse, and he is going to use transfuse rather than inject immediately. I like that decision. Of course, like 10 Zerglings running in there could have finished that hatchery off easily, but it could use a few more transfuses. Here comes another Queen. Maybe he's going to invest a little bit more energy into HP for the hatchery. It would be a good decision. Something to point out, by the way, Unstable, is that Boom Boom is going for upgrades for his Mutalisks, whereas King Kong is going to be doing that style where he's going to be transitioning sneakily into the Infestors immediately without getting any upgrades for his Mutas. He's going to be transitioning into the Infestors already.
Oh, Zergling's coming into the third base for Pong Pong. He's going to try and target down this hatchery. There's only 1 Baneling. He might actually get it, by the way. At the same time, he's chasing down the Mutas. Needs to be careful. Those Mutas at the front will get picked off. Looks like he's barely going to miss this as well. So both players...
the hatchery stays alive as well with 100 HP. Both players third base on very low HP. Very close to taking it out, but not quite getting it. And Boom Boom, once again, keeping that third alive. He's going to be able to start mining gas there. And it looks pretty good for him, even though he's not going for the Infestors. He's staying on this Mutalisk tech, and he's making more and more Mutas. And we all know how much of an issue Infestors are going to be for this big clump of Mutas. If they ever clump up...
Yep.
And get a fungal? Ooh.
Yeah, it does not end well. But oh, here we go. Pong Pong does have the higher Muta count. He actually gets a couple of volleys off first as well. And there are Queens and Spores everywhere, so he needs to be very careful on where he engages here. We do see more Banglings coming down into the natural. Here come the Infestors, though. He needs to be very careful He's got what? There we go. He's actually splitting up his units, but is he going to get a fungal off? Yes, he does. But Pong still has the higher muta count. Oh my god, fungals on all these mutas now. The infestors do have the numbers, and it looks like King Kong is going to take a very strong lead here in that muta count. Now he's also got infestors. That is huge. Oh,
indeed it is. Boom Boom is now transitioning into roaches as he's
hoping... Oh, clutch transfuse there to save one of those mutas as well.
That's cool. That's cool. It's so marking, so a hallmark of a really good player. Like when you transfuse in a situation like that, it's very good paying attention to details. Anyway, those roaches have now hit the field for Boom Boom, and that's why he's so far ahead in the supply right now. These roaches are actually quite scary because there's not that high of a muta count for King Kong.
Yeah, he does have quite a few Zerglings with these infestors, though he only has a couple of fungals. And here he comes. He's coming in the National. He's going to pick off one queen instantly. Is he going to go for the second one as well? Yes, he is. Is he going to target down this hatchery because it is low health already? Of course he is. And he's going to be able to... He's not going to be able to get away because of the fungals, but that's definitely worth it considering he's expanding himself as well behind this. And he's actually coming in for another counter into the natural as well. But at this point... Oh, he's actually going to catch the infestors. He doesn't have any fungals, I don't think. He's actually chasing that down. Forced to back off because of the Ling and muta counts, though. But that is a... Like, he's... Losing that third is pretty much a death sentence here for King Kong.
It's not looking good for King Kong. Indeed, the roaches do stay alive for Boom Boom as he burrows them in the middle of the map. There's also one burrow roach in the main base. That burrow roach is actually going to be able to scout later on. No, he's not. He's just going to get out of his burrow position, snipe a drone, and then probably die off. And more roaches are going to be running into the third, hoping to cancel it again, and they might be able to force the cancel. The mutas are a little bit late.
Oh, they're going to get it.
Once again, Boom Boom is going to focus that hatch, and he gets it. The cancel goes down, and Boom Boom is getting further and further ahead.
Yeah, notice how the supplies aren't that different, but it's mainly the roaches that are coming out for King Kong now. But looking at the work, the units tab, there's 11 mutas on the field for King Kong. There's 25 roaches. So Pong still has the roach count. He has the infestor count. He's got the base count. He's got hydras in the way. He's got +2 already started, whereas King Kong's only just finishing +1. And it's going to be very difficult for King Kong right now. He's got one muta coming in. This is always frustrating from the infestor point of view because you can't fungal everything. And there we go. There goes a nice burrow. But this look at the mutas here. They're actually split out quite nicely. And he might actually get this hatchery because of it. Oh, actually a fungal down on some roaches up here at the north as well. Really nice engagement here for King Kong. Another burrow though.
What is Boom Boom trying to do right now? He's waiting for his hydras to pop so he can really deal with
those.
Oh,
he's going to get this third again! Ah!
Oh my god, he's everywhere currently. His infestors are still at home, and he is going to get that third base unstable, but he will lose his fourth base at the same time. I think some really good fungals at the fourth base of Boom Boom right now as he fungals pretty much everything. The mutas are going to come in and try to snipe the infestors. The third base dies again back at Boom Boom, back at King Kong's base. Oh my god, everything's happening at the same time.
Actually, with the Hydra reinforcements, he's going to save this fourth base here, literally, and a lot of these roaches are in very low health. They're just popping instantly. And that is huge here for Pong Pong. He's going to have 4 bases to the 2 of King Kong. He's actually running into the natural yet again. We have 157 supply to 130. And this is going to be very frustrating for King Kong right now. I think he realizes he's just got nothing left in this one. He's got roaches in his main. He's got roaches and hydras coming into his natural. He's actually going to lose an infestor sitting here. He's going to try and counterattack, but there's already reinforcements for Pong Pong at home. And he's going to lose that fight as well. Pong Pong all over. It's such a weird thing to happen when you see King Kong play such a good ZVZ against Yu-Gi-Oh! And then seemingly just get completely outclassed in this game. There's the GG. GG. And Pong Pong will take down the game number 1. He is now 1 map away from advancing into the round of 32. And what do you think, Literally? Can he take next game or not? On the spot.
Can he take it? Can he take it 2-0? Is that what you're asking me?
Yes, that is what I'm asking you.
Well, seeing how dominant he looked and how well his multitasking was lining up, I mean, killing that third base over and over again, keeping his own third base alive, transfusing where needed, transitioning into the investors at the right time. He pretty much did everything right. So I think he has a good chance of taking the series 2-0. But we have seen some really good ZVZ out of our other player before, out of Yu-Gi-Oh! Before.
Alrighty.
So he could very well take a 2-0, make it 2-1, make a comeback? We'll have to see.
All right, let's go straight into our commercial break, and we'll be right back with the next game.